Now that's what I call a comeback. Issy just hit the gas and blasted into 5, knocking off 3.2 seconds like it's nothing. Neotexum is also on the up and up, moving to P11 with a sweet little boost of 0.6 seconds. And Sputnik NZ is slowly but surely making their way up, climbing to P24. Every second counts, folks. This is turning into quite the race, isn't it? Wayne-Tran ND4 has successfully overtaken 4 cars, now positioned in 8th place. Feds is charging through the pack, moving up 6 positions to reach 11th place. Oh, Frankie Eniraru has made a notable gain as well, overtaking 4 cars to secure 15th place. The dynamics of the race are shifting rapidly with these advancements. Hey there someone. Popper, welcome back to the racetrack. Buckle up and get ready for some high-speed fun with our AI racers. Checkered flag, let's see who takes the checkered flag today. Glowing star. The gentleman is currently holding P24 in the Maytech Ford GT Tone, closely pursued by Kamikaze 38 in the Ferrari 575 GTC. The battle for P25 sees Kamikaze 38 also facing pressure from Huggard 3, who is in another Maytech Ford GT Tone. Issy 1212 has made a notable move up to P32, successfully overtaking Plane Train Anime Fan T. Okayoki 3 is currently in a fierce battle for P3, driving the Maytech Ford GT D-Tone, while Cedric, in the Maserati MiG-12 D-Tone, is trying to fend off the challenge. The gap between them remains tight as they navigate through the track. Meanwhile, Issy 1212 is making significant progress, reducing the distance to Kazushuk by 2.6 seconds, indicating a potential upcoming overtake if this pace continues. The dynamics of the race are intensifying as these drivers push their limits. As we pick up the action, Cedric has taken the lead, now positioned in pole after successfully overtaking Diego Nascarati 6. In response, Diego Nascarati 6 has moved up to P2, executing an overtake on Drenone, who is now in P3 quiet. In a tough turn of events, Koki Bainidi has encountered issues and dropped back 8 positions to settle in 10. The field is tightly contested as the race dynamics continue to shift. Captain Potato has gained a position and is now in P3 after successfully overtaking Drenone. The two are currently engaged in a close battle for that third spot. Meanwhile, Maya has advanced to P32, surpassing Rizaldia Adha in the process. Wayne Trinity 4 has experienced significant difficulties, dropping 15 positions to P29. Meanwhile, Sir Ironbolt made a notable move up to 13 by overtaking Duff Dad. Ishol, Kansas. In response, Duff Dad from Team Live for Speed has reclaimed momentum, advancing to 15 after successfully overtaking LeCroix 1 1980. The race is showing dynamic shifts in positions as the drivers strategize their movements. Maya is currently gaining on Issy 1212, reducing the gap by 550.4 seconds. Captain Potato is also closing in on Plane Train Anime Fan, with a gap reduction of 584.9 seconds. Meanwhile, there's an intense battle for P12 between Frankie JNR Uun in a Lamborghini Murcielago RGT and Famaka in a Meltec Forge DT Tone, as they jockey for position. The competition is heating up across the board. Cedric is off to a blistering start, maintaining the lead with impressive speed. Diego Nascarati 6 is closely tailing, trying to find an opening. Meanwhile, Drenone is hanging back in third, looking for an opportunity to pounce as they make their way through the first turn. It's shaping up to be an exciting race already. Lord of the Jungle and Kazashuk are locked in a tight battle for 27th position. They're both pushing hard on their straights, with Kazashuk making a daring move on the inside at the last corner. Lord of the Jungle defends well, but Kazashuk manages to squeeze ahead as they exit the turn. It's a neck-and-neck situation now as they approach the next chicane. Looks like this fight is heating up. Okioki 3 has successfully moved up to 7 after overtaking Feds. Meanwhile, Sputnik NZ in the Koenigsegg CGT is locked in a close battle with Koil Onek, driving the Porsche 911 GT2 for Pate Team. In another area of the track, the gentlemen from Team No Name Racing and Huggard 3 are contesting P22, both drivers pushing hard to gain an advantage. Sabine at 27 successfully overtakes Drinon, advancing to P3. The maneuver was executed on the inside of turn 5, showcasing excellent timing and precision. Drinon now drops back to Pfawa. Meanwhile, the Lee remains in a solid position, maintaining a comfortable gap ahead. The battle for the lower podium spots is heating up with Sabine at 27 pushing forward. Kamikaze 38 has successfully moved up to P19 after overtaking Grenadjeb. Baktok. Meanwhile, Grenadjeb from Team, also No Name Racing, has responded by advancing to P20, overtaking the gentleman. The gentleman has countered this move by gaining a position as well, now sitting at P21 after overtaking Huggard 3. Diego NASCAR 86 has encountered issues, resulting in a drop from P2 to P11. Sabine at 27 has successfully overtaken Drinon, and is now on P22, driving a Maserati MiG-12 D-Tone. Drinon is now in P3 with a Saleen 7RR. The two are currently engaged in a close battle for position, with Sabine at 27 maintaining a narrow lead over Drinon. Diego NASCAR 86 has experienced a setback, dropping 6 positions to 34th place. Meanwhile, for Marca in the Maytech Ford GT, Kilnoan is engaged in a tight battle for 12th place against Sirayambot, who is piloting the Chevrolet Corvette Site 6. Are just behind them. Robesti in a BMW M3 in 92 G2 is contesting with Basu 321 in a Nissan 350C GT1 for the 23rd position. The competition remains intense as these drivers jostle for position on the track. Sirius Guy in a Lister Storm GT is currently engaged in a tight battle with deplorable Leeple, who was piloting the Maserati Mach-12 D-Tone for 8th position. Both drivers are neck and neck as they navigate the track's twists and turns. Meanwhile, Issy 1212 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Lord of the Jungle by 2.8 seconds. The intensity is building as these competitors push their machines to the limit. Diego Nascarite 6 has made significant progress, reducing the gap to Lord of the Jungle by 10.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Rizaldi Adha is also gaining ground, cutting down the distance to Diego Nascarite 6 by 6.7 seconds. The competitive dynamics are intensifying as these three cars keep pushing their limits. Bamaka from Team Nafgum Kings has just made a bold move on Sir Ironbot, taking the inside line into the next corner and managing to overtake for P12. Meanwhile, Robus XG is applying pressure to Basta 321 as they enter the final section of the track. Robus 60 is clearly gaining ground in the BMW M3 E92 GT2. Tongue. As they approach the straight, it looks like Robus XG is setting up for a potential pass. The battle for P23 remains intense. Deplorably, Apple has indeed dropped back to P23 after a series of issues, losing 13 positions. Meanwhile, Diego Nascarite 6 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Rizaldi Adha by 548.9 seconds, indicating a strong push. In a notable overtake, Sirius Guy has advanced to Seven, successfully passing Feds. The race dynamics are shifting as these movements take place. Okayoki 3 has just made a significant move, overtaking 4 cars and positioning themselves in P2. Following closely, the Sirius Guy from Team No Name Racing has also executed an impressive maneuver, claiming P3 after overtaking 4 competitors. Not to be outdone, Feds from Team Also No Name Racing is in hot pursuit, successfully navigating past 4 cars to secure power. The race dynamics are heating up with these strategic overtakes. Kitsune Draco has encountered issues and dropped back to P22, losing 7 positions. Meanwhile, Robust J has made a successful move to climb up to 15 after overtaking Basu 321. In response, Basu 321 has regained momentum and overtaken Kazashuk, advancing to 16. Sputnik NZ has successfully moved into 5, having overtaken 5 competitors in rapid succession. Green Jet follows closely behind, also gaining significant ground to secure 6, with an impressive 5-car overtake. Hugot 3 is not far behind, making a similar move and advancing to Suving after, overtaking 5 cars as well. The midfield is showing intense competition as these drivers push for better positions. Kitsune Draco is now just 598.9 seconds behind Feds, making a strong push. Meanwhile, Nukem Wakem has narrowed the gap to Kitsune Draco by 22.4 seconds, showcasing some impressive speed. Additionally, Lord of the Jungle is closing in on Maya, reducing the distance by 8.1 seconds. The competition is heating up as these drivers make their moves. One serious guy has just executed a fantastic maneuver, overtaking 5 cars, and is now positioned in 4th place. Following closely, Sabanu27 has made an impressive move, overtaking 11 cars to secure 5th place. Not to be outdone, Cedric has also surged forward, gaining 11 positions and claiming 6th place. The race dynamics are shifting rapidly as these drivers push to the front. Okayoki 3 is now in P21 after a successful overtake on Duff Dad. Meanwhile, Duff Dad from Team Live for Speed has pushed himself into P22 by overtaking the Gentleman. The Gentleman responds by moving up to P23, overtaking Bassa 321. The positions are shifting quickly as the cars continue to jostle for better placements on the track. Maya has successfully overtaken Planetary Nanami Fan, advancing to P26. Kokibinenity has made a move on Duff Dad, securing P28 for themselves. Meanwhile, Lord of the Jungle has also pushed ahead, overtaking New Kambokum to take P30. The race continues with these notable position changes. Renan is currently in the lead after successfully overtaking Robes XD, who has dropped to P2. Diego NASCAR 86 is making significant progress and is closing in on Rizaldi Adha, reducing the gap by 556.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Sabine 27 has made an impressive move up to Pfauer, overtaking Wazirius Guy, who is now in 5. The race dynamics are shifting as positions continue to change rapidly. Sabine 27 is currently in P3 after successfully overtaking Cedric from Team Live for Speed. Following that move, Cedric has now dropped to Pfauer but managed to overtake Neotexum, who is now in 5. Neotexum has also made progress, moving up to 5 after overtaking Wazirius Guy. The positions are shifting rapidly as the race continues. Wazirius Guy has encountered some issues, dropping significantly from his previous position to 25th place. Meanwhile, Diego NASCAR 86 is strategically closing in on Rizaldi Adha, with a gap of 563.1 seconds, as they continue to battle on the track. In a notable move, Sputnik NZ has advanced to 6th place by successfully overtaking Famaka. The race dynamics are shifting as these competitors adjust their strategies. Okioki 3 is gaining ground on ISI 1212, reducing the distance by 6.4 seconds. Meanwhile, Maya is making impressive progress, cutting the gap to Captain Potato by 23.7 seconds. In the battle for position, Planetary Nanimifan is also closing in on Waintra 94, decreasing the gap by 5.6 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Nilkenbocken has successfully moved into P33, after executing a clean overtake on the gentleman. The maneuver was precise, showcasing excellent timing and racing lines. The battle for position continues to heat up as the drivers push their limits. Koil Oniki in the Porsche 911 GT2 is currently engaged in a tight battle with Frankie Jin Ao in the Lamborghini Murcielago RT for 15th position. The two cars are closely matched, with Koil Onik attempting to defend against Frankie Jin Ao's advances. Meanwhile, Koki Beninity is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Rizaldi Adha by 3.4 seconds. The race dynamics indicate that Koki Beninity is gaining momentum and could soon mount an attack for the next position. Hanatrainanimafen is now in 25th position after successfully overtaking Lord of the Jungle. Lord of the Jungle has responded by moving up to 26th, getting past Wuzirius Guy. Meanwhile, Wuzirius Guy has also made an advancement to 27th place, overtaking Captain Potato. The positions are shifting as strategies unfold on the track. Asu 321 has significantly closed the gap to Okayoki 3 by 572.8 seconds, indicating a strong push as they approach. Meanwhile, Maya has successfully overtaken Planetaina Nifen, advancing to position 22. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers gain momentum and make strategic moves. Lord of the Jungle has made significant progress, narrowing the gap to Wayne Train 94 by 590.1 seconds. Famaka is gaining on Cydric as well, reducing the distance by 2.1 seconds. Meanwhile, there's an intense battle for P11 between Robus XJ in the BMW M3 in 92 G2 and Kamikaze 38 in the Ferrari 575 GTC, indicating close competition in the midfield. Captain Potato currently leads the pack, but Duff Dad is making significant progress, reducing the gap by 577.8 seconds. In the midfield, Robus XJ in the BMW M3 E92 GT2 is locked in an intense battle with Kamikaze 38, driving the Ferrari 575 GTC for the 11th position. The pace is picking up as both drivers jockey for position, showcasing their skills on the track. Linon takes the lead right off the bat, showing some impressive speed. Sabine 27 is hot on their tail, clearly not wanting to play catch-up. Meanwhile, Neo Texum is hanging in there, trying to find a good line to sneak past. It's shaping up to be an exciting battle right from the start. Feds is making significant progress, now just 585.4 seconds behind Greninja. Deplorable is gaining on Hug 3 from Team Nafgum Kings, with the gap narrowing to 16.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Maya is also closing in on Bassa 321, reducing the distance by 18.4 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as these drivers push to improve their positions. Katsushok from Team S1 is making significant progress, narrowing the gap to Dranome by 579.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Deplorable has advanced to position 10 after successfully overtaking Huggard 3. The dynamics on the track are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Katsushok continues to apply pressure on Dranome as they race ahead. Captain Potato has successfully moved up to P25 by overtaking Lord of the Jungle on the inside line at turn 4. The maneuver was clean, showcasing good acceleration out of the corner. Meanwhile, in P24, we see a tight battle as Speedy Turtle is under pressure from Captain Potato. Neo Texum has made an impressive move, advancing to P2 after overtaking Sputnik NZ.K. Meanwhile, Feds has also gained ground, moving up to 5 by successfully overtaking Sabina 27. The competition is heating up as the AI-driven cars jockey for position on the track. Sabina 27 is continuing to close the gap on Hugri, now just 15.6 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 has made a significant move, overtaking 4 cars to secure 13 in the standings. The race dynamics are shifting as these two drivers make their respective advancements. Maya has significantly reduced the gap to Wayne 94, now just 9.1 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Diagnoska Regi 6 is making progress on Rizaldi Adha, closing in by 91.1 seconds, indicating a substantial distance but showing signs of potential catch-up. In a noteworthy maneuver, Sputnik NZ has successfully overtaken Greenager, moving up to P2 in the standings. The race dynamics are shifting as positions change and gaps narrow. Captain Potato is now just 8.6 seconds behind Maya, showing impressive speed as he closes the gap. Meanwhile, Duff Dad has successfully moved up to 25th place after overtaking Drenone. The race dynamics are shifting as positions begin to change. Neotexum has successfully moved up to power after executing a clean overtake on Feds. Sabina 27 has also gained ground, advancing to 7 by overtaking Deplorablepel. Meanwhile, Deplorablepel has regained some momentum, moving back to Pate with an overtake on Kamikaze 38. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers jockey for position. Deplorablepel is indeed making significant progress, now just 14.1 seconds behind Kamikaze 38. In the battle for 5th place, Roby's XJ in the BMW M3 E92 GT2 is closely contesting with Sabina 27 in the Maserati MiG-12 DT Tone. Both cars are showing strong performance as they navigate the track, maintaining their positions while trying to gain an advantage over each other. The race dynamics are heating up with these close contests. Koki Dininity has advanced to P29, after successfully overtaking Junonda Dal. Meanwhile, the gentleman has made a move to P31 by overtaking Lord of the Jungle. Both drivers are showing strong performance as they push through the ranks. Robus J in the BMW M3 in 92 G2 has gained ground on Sabina 27, who is currently driving the Maserati Mk12 D-Tone. As they approach the hairpin turn, Robus J makes a daring move on the inside, attempting to overtake for 5. Sabina 27 defends well, maintaining the racing line. They exit the corner side by side, with Robus J slightly ahead as they head down the straight. Sabina 27 is not giving up easily, pulling alongside again as they approach the next turn. The tension is high as both drivers push their cars to the limit. Robus J takes the lead momentarily, but Sabina 27 is right on his tail. In the meantime, the rest of the field continues to race closely behind. But all eyes are on this intense battle for 5th place. The dynamics between these two drivers are showcasing strategic driving and skillful maneuvering. Sabina 27 has lost momentum and dropped back to Pen after falling 7 positions. Robus J is making significant progress, reducing the gap to New Texan by 3.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Deplorable has successfully moved up to P3, overtaking Cedric in the process. The race dynamics are shifting as these changes unfold. La Croissant 1980 is gaining on Coil O'Nick, significantly reducing the gap to just 599.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is also making strides, closing in on Plain Train Enemy Fan with a gap now at 593.4 seconds. In the battle for 7, Famaka in the Maytech 4 GT D-Tone is engaged in a close contest with Issy 12 who is piloting a Lister Storm GT. The dynamics in this section of the race are heating up. Lord of the Jungle is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Trinone by 569.6 seconds. Thets has successfully moved into P9 after overtaking Issy 12. Meanwhile, Bassa 321 has advanced to 17, overtaking Wayne Trainini 4. The race dynamics are shifting as positions continue to change. Famaka has significantly decreased the gap to Kitsune Draco, now just 9.8 seconds behind. Issy 12 is also making moves, narrowing the distance to Kakayoki 3 of Racing Potatoes by 9.7 seconds. Meanwhile, Rizaldi Adha is on a long-term strategy, slowly closing in on Huggard 3 with a staggering gap reduction of 519 seconds. Famaka has advanced to 7 after successfully overtaking Kitsunedrakol. Meanwhile, Basu 321 is gaining on Issy 11212, reducing the gap by 3.4 seconds. In a notable move, Rizaldi Adha has climbed to P12 after overtaking Kazashuk. Waziri's guy from No Name Racing is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Captain Potato by 578.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Basu 321 is gaining on Issy 1212, cutting down the distance by 4.4 seconds. The dynamics in the race are shifting as these two drivers push their limits. Captain Potato is now just 22 seconds behind Player 9 fan, showing impressive speed and strategy to close that gap part up. Famaka has made a significant move into 6, successfully overtaking Kitsunedrako. In response, Kitsunedrako has also maneuvered past Robes J, advancing to 7. The dynamics are shifting rapidly as positions change hands. Kamikaze 38 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Roba 6G by 6.2 seconds, indicating a strong pace. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 and Isiona 12 and 1212 are locked in a close battle for 15th position. Okayoka 3 is in a Maytech Ford GT two-tone, while Ision 2012 and 2012 is driving a Lister Storm GT, showing competitive performance between these two cars. The race dynamics are heating up with these ongoing duels. Rizaldi Adha has significantly reduced the gap to Captain Potato, now trailing by just 13.2 seconds. In the battle for 15th place, Okayoki 3 in the Maytech Ford GT Tuan is closely contesting with SC 1212, driving a Lister Storm GT type. Their positions are shifting as they navigate the track, maintaining proximity and pressure on each other. Overtakes and defensive maneuvers are expected as they approach the next corner. Sputnik NZ is now in P3 after successfully overtaking Graininjeb. Graininjeb has dropped to Pfawa but managed to overtake Famaka, who is now in 5. Famaka has moved up to 5 by getting past Kitsunedrako, who is currently in 6th state. The positions are shifting rapidly as the cars battle for dominance on the track. Cedric has now taken the lead, moving into pole after overtaking Neo-Texan. Meanwhile, Deplorable is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Robust Sexty by 8.8 seconds, indicating a strong push for a potential overtake. The dynamic between these drivers is heating up as the race continues. Vinoan is gaining on the gentleman, with the gap now at 294 seconds. Meanwhile, Winzerius Guy has successfully moved up to P21, after overtaking Issy 1212. The race dynamics are changing as we continue to see movement in the positions. Kokibananity is now in P23 after successfully overtaking Captain Potato, who has dropped to P24. Meanwhile, Captain Potato managed to overtake Issy 1212, and is now sitting in P24. The positions are shifting as the drivers continue to battle for better placements on the track. Cedric has taken the lead, moving into first position after successfully overtaking Neo-Texan. Meanwhile, Sputnik NZ is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Neo-Texan by 10.1 seconds. The race is heating up as these dynamics unfold. Sputnik NZ is taking an early lead, showcasing some impressive speed out of the gate. Braininggap is right on their tail, applying pressure already. Pamako is hanging back in third, but isn't too far off, plenty of time to make a move. It's anyone's race at this point. Kamikaze 38 is steadily closing the gap on Kitsune Draco, now just 7 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Okayoki 3 has made a clean move up to P12, successfully overtaking Lakwawa 1980. The race dynamics are shifting as these positions change. Currently, La Croissant 1980 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Coil Onek by 6/4 seconds. This suggests an increase in pace for La Croissant 1980 as they work to catch up. The race dynamics are shifting as we observe this potential overtaking opportunity, developing in the next few laps. Boston's 321 has successfully closed the gap to La Croissant 1980 by 8.7 seconds, indicating a strong pace as they approach. Meanwhile, Hugard 3 has made an impressive move, overtaking Planar Train and Imifan, and advancing to 17. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers continue to push for better positions. Tournet has just made a notable move, advancing to P12 after successfully overtaking Lacrosse on 1980. Following that, Lacrosse on 1980 didn't stay in P12 for long, and quickly responded by moving up to P13, overtaking Feds. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is also on the move, jumping to P23 with an overtake on Koki Binity. Serious Guy is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Maya by 27.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Diego Nascarite 6 is also gaining on Koki Beninity, closing that distance by 28.3 seconds. On a different note, Duff Dad is trying to catch up to Lord of the Jungle, but has a substantial gap to close, currently trailing by 477.3 seconds. Sabine97 is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Serious Guy by 82 seconds. The distance is narrowing as they head into the next turn. Sabine27 seems to have better traction and speed on the straights, while Serious Guy is holding steady for now. It will be interesting to see if Sabine27 can maintain this pace and attempt an overtake soon. Rizali Adha is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Sabine27 by 95 seconds. Duff Dad is also making strides, closing in on Lord of the Jungle by 478.2 seconds. In a notable maneuver, Kamikaze 38 has advanced to position 8 after successfully overtaking Eo Frankie, Jane Ru Dorchijo. Lord of the Jungle maintains the lead, but Duff Dad is making a significant push, reducing the gap to 478.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Issy 1212 is gaining on Captain Potato, now just 2.2 seconds behind. The dynamics are shifting as Duff Dad continues to close in on Lord of the Jungle. Rizali Adha from Team Quark Express has significantly reduced the gap to Sabine27, now trailing by just 149.6 seconds. Meanwhile, Duff Dad is also making progress, cutting down the distance to Lord of the Jungle by 477.9 seconds. In the midfield, Deplorable has advanced to 17 after successfully overtaking Huggard 3. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push to improve their positions. Feds has significantly closed the gap to Diagnoscar 86, now just 551.8 seconds behind. Meanwhile, ISI 1212 from Team No Name Racing is also narrowing the distance to Feds by 577.7 seconds. In a notable move, Neotexum has advanced to power after successfully overtaking Sidrip. The dynamics in the midfield are shifting rapidly. Neotexum from Team Nufgung Kings is continuing to close the gap on Famaka, now trailing by only 2.2 seconds. Subin A27 has made a successful move up into 19th place, overtaking Huggard 3. Meanwhile, the gentleman has advanced to 27th position after getting past Captain Potato. The race dynamics are shifting as these competitors push for better placements. Robus XD has successfully overtaken 4 cars and is now in 3rd position. Meanwhile, Maya is aggressively closing the gap to the gentleman, reducing it by 154.8 seconds. Additionally, Robus XD has just passed Kitsune Draco to solidify their hold on 3rd place. Hail Rumano 27. Party Popper, welcome back to the racetrack. Buckle up, it's gonna be a wild ride. Racing car dashing away. Huggard 3 is currently in pursuit of Kokubinati, with a significant reduction in the gap to 576.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Diagnoscar 86 from Team Nufgung Kings is also gaining on Huggard 3, closing the distance by 579.8 seconds. In another battle, Lord of the Jungle is making strides towards Maya, reducing their gap to 48.1 seconds. All cars are actively adjusting their strategies as they navigate the track. Bassi 321 is now just 17 seconds behind Wayne Train 94, putting pressure on the leader. Isiona 212 is also making significant progress, reducing the gap to Diagnoscar 86 by 25.2 seconds. Meanwhile, Duff Dad is tracking Captain Potato closely, narrowing the distance by 25.2 seconds as well. The race is intensifying with these drivers closing in on their targets. The gentleman is gaining on Hug 3, reducing the gap significantly by 103.6 seconds. Dove Dad is also making moves, closing in on Maya with a 27.3 second difference now. Meanwhile, Sabina 27 from Team Blast is catching up to Win Serious Guy, narrowing the gap to just 4.5 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers push their limits. Hey, Bened83. Welcome back to the race. Racing car dashing away. Did you bring any lucky charms for the cars? Or are we racing for fun today? Let's go. Win Serious Guy is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Planet Train and Inifan by 39.8 seconds. Meanwhile, the Gentleman is also in pursuit, closing in on Hub Godfrey with a substantial gap reduction of 378.3 seconds. Win Serious Guy continues to gain ground on Plane Train and Animafan, emphasizing a strong performance in this segment. Kitsune Draco has lost significant ground, dropping 6 positions to currently sit in 10th place. Meanwhile, Maya is making a strong push, reducing the gap to Duff Dad by 62.2 seconds as they race for position. In the meantime, Sputnik NZ has successfully overtaken Green Egypt and now holds the 4th position, showcasing some impressive driving. Koyolonek is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Frankie J and RU by 580.4 seconds. Renon is also gaining ground, closing the distance to the Gentleman by 222.9 seconds. Koyolonek continues to show impressive pace as they reel in Frankie J and RU. Wayne 94 is significantly closing the gap on Deplorable Apple, now down to 583.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Planet Train and Imafan has successfully moved up to 16th position after overtaking Kitsune Draco. The race dynamics are shifting as we approach the next set of laps. Kitsune Draco is gaining on Plane Train and Imafan, reducing the gap by 550.2 seconds. Giggs is also making a move, narrowing the distance to Issy 1212 by 511.1 seconds. Meanwhile, Captain Potato is closing in on Lord of the Jungle, cutting the gap down by 364.3 seconds. Position changes are likely as these drivers continue to push their pace. One Serious Guy has significantly closed the gap to Kitsune Draco, now just 540.3 seconds behind. Vegs is also making progress, narrowing the distance to Issy 1212 by 57.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Duff Dad is working hard to catch up to Captain Potato from Team Racing Potatoes, reducing the gap by 391.5 seconds. The dynamics are shifting as these drivers push to gain positions on the track. Sputnik Enzi has taken the lead, moving into pole after successfully overtaking Gren and Jeb. Green and Jeb follows closely in P2, after executing an overtake on Cedric, who is now in P3. The positions are solidifying as they navigate the track. Cedric currently leads the pack, but Neotexum is making significant progress, reducing the gap to Cedric by 11.3 seconds. The marker is also gaining ground on Neotexum, cutting the distance down by 9 seconds. The race dynamics are shifting as these drivers intensify their pursuit. Coil Onek has advanced to position 11, successfully overtaking Lacroix 1 1980. Deplorably Apple is gaining on Lacroixum 1980, reducing the gap by 3.3 seconds. Duff Dad has also made a move, climbing to position 28 after overtaking Sabina 27. Waintra 94 has significantly reduced the gap to Coil Onek, now trailing by just 8.8 seconds. Meanwhile, Lacroixon 1980 is also gaining on Waintra 94, closing the distance by 34.2 seconds. In a more extended battle, Lord of the Jungle is attempting to catch up to Drenoin, with a gap of 533.5 seconds still to overcome. Kitsune Draco is gaining on Deplorable Apple, reducing the gap to 27.9 seconds. Meanwhile, Issy 1212 is making strides towards Koki Bioninity, cutting the distance down to 19.1 seconds. Vegs is also in pursuit, now just 27 seconds behind Issy 1212. The competition is tightening up as gaps begin to close. Lacroixon 1980 is now just 2.6 seconds behind Waintra 94, showing impressive speed in the chase. Rizaldi Adha has made a significant gain, moving up to P18 after overtaking Planetrain and Ifan. Meanwhile, Kazashuk has climbed to P31 following an overtake on Mayadat Datsian. Race positions are shifting as the competition heats up. Deplorableple has significantly closed the gap to Bassa 321, reducing it by 560.3 seconds. Kitsune Draco is also making strides, closing in on Deplorableple by 591.8 seconds. The dynamics suggest a competitive battle as Deplorableple continues to close the distance on Bassa 321. Each car is showing strong performance as they navigate the track. Keep an eye on these positions as the race unfolds. Maya is currently in pursuit of Kazashuk from Team S1, significantly reducing the gap. The time difference between them has been cut down by 663.4 seconds, indicating a strong performance from Maya as she presses on toward an overtake. The race dynamics are shifting as they approach the next turn, which could be crucial for Maya to make her move. No other major position changes have occurred at this moment. Robis J and Kamikaze 38 are locked in a tight battle for 6, with Robi 6J in the BMW M3 E90, G2, and Kamikaze 38 in the Ferrari 575 GTC. As they approach the hairpin, Robis XG makes a daring move on the inside. Rizaldi Adha from Team Quark Express has made significant progress, advancing to 17 after successfully overtaking Wazirius Guy on the straight. In P21, ISI 1212 has also gained a position, getting past Feds from Team Also No Name Racing. The race is heating up as these positions shift. Kazashuk has successfully moved up to P30 after overtaking Hugard Free in a clean maneuver. This marks a notable advancement as Kazashuk takes advantage of a slight error from Hugard in the corner. The race continues with strong competition in the mid-pack, making it an exciting scene for position battles. Dunam continues to make significant progress, closing the gap to Planetrain and Imafan by 6.7 seconds. The pace is increasing as Drenone is clearly pushing harder to catch up. Meanwhile, Planetary Enemy Fan is maintaining their position, but will need to respond to this pressure from Drenone if they want to stay in front. The dynamics of the race are shifting as Drenone gains momentum. Currently, Lord of the Jungle from Team Also No Name Racing is making significant progress, narrowing the gap to Planetary Enemy Fan by 5.7 seconds. As the race continues, it will be interesting to see if this momentum results in an overtaking maneuver. Meanwhile, positions remain stable among the top contenders, but the dynamics are shifting as we approach a potential battle for position. Keep an eye on that gap as it continues to close. Target 3 is gaining on Kazashuk, significantly closing the gap by 455.5 seconds. The gentleman has made a strong move to take P25, successfully overtaking Captain Potato. In response, Captain Potato has moved up to P26 by passing Planetary Enemy Fandadotti. Kazashuk has made a significant move, advancing to P29 after successfully overtaking Sabina 27. The maneuver was clean and precise, showcasing Kazashuk's strong racecraft. Sabina 27 now trails behind in P30. The battle for positions continues as the field remains tightly packed. Assetto 212 is making significant progress, closing the gap to Diaganaska 86 by 27 seconds. Currently, Assetto 212 is in third position, while Diaganaska 86 holds on to second. The distance between them is diminishing rapidly, indicating a potential overtaking opportunity in the near future. Lord of the Jungle has significantly reduced the gap to Drenone, now just 32.9 seconds behind. Meanwhile, Le Croissant 1980 has made a solid move up to P12 after overtaking Bassa 321. In response, Bassa 321 has regained some ground, moving up to P13 by passing Waintra 94. The positions are tightening as the race progresses, indicating potential for more overtakes.